Hey guys, welcome back to World of Tanks. My name is Bruce and today I want to present the first tier 9 premium light tank in World of Tanks, the French Char mle 75. If you're interested in more reviews and gameplay, go to YouTube and search for World of Tanks with Bruce to get all of my videos, or click on the subscribe button. And now let's go. The Char mle 75 is a very unique tank and features not only two different driving modes, one, let's call it normal mode, and a turbo mode. It also features a very special autoloader with 6 shots in the magazine. However, if you fire once, 3 shots will be fired automatically in short sequence, so you basically only fire 2 times and all of your 6 shots will be fired subsequently. In order to make this unique tank work, we need to take a look at the characteristics of this tank. Alright, so here are the statistics of the Char mle 75, and let me just point out the important statistics. So first of all, you have a very poor DPM because you have 41.12 seconds stock reload of your clip. You have 6 shells in your clip, but once again, if you fire once, then you will 3 shells will be fired subsequently because you have no control over the 2nd and 3rd shell, nor do you have control over the 5th and the 6th shell. So basically with this clip you can only fire twice. Dispersion is fine. The whole gun handling statistics are, I would say, average to below average. You only have 200 millimeters of penetration and your alpha damage is 200, but considering that you can bump out 1200 damage in about 4 seconds, because keep in mind your intra clip reload is 3.5, but it takes, let's say, 1 second or so to burst out your 3 shots. So this tank can deal quite a high amount of damage in a very short period of time. However, the gun stats, the gun handling is a little bit lackluster, and this is certainly not a sniper tank. Now the speed, top speed only 55, the power to weight ratio is nice, 28.2, correction 0.72, and 1150 HP is same as the wheeled light tank on tier 9, and then the camo value is 16.24, which is fine for a light tank, not the best value, and then 370 meters of view range. Now what if you enter the turbo mode? Then as you can see, your gun handling gets slightly worse. The aim time increases, the dispersion of a damaged gun increases, and then the turret traverse increases, as well as the traverse after firing. Your turret traverse decreases, your camo values decrease, and also your view range decreases, but you get this lovely additional top speed and a power to weight ratio of 42.23 and a top speed of 75. So if we now compare the stats against the other French light tanks on tier 9, you can see that the DPN is significantly lower. However, you have a burst of 1200 damage compared to the, only in parentheses 960 of the MX 1390, but he needs 6.62 seconds to burst out this damage, while you only need approximately, let's say, 4 seconds or 4.5 seconds to deal 1200 damage if you manage to hit all of your shots. Now the gun handling is comparable, I would say, to the AMX 1390, slightly worse, and certainly worse than the one of the EBR 90. Now your speed in the normal mode is worse. However, if you switch to turbo mode, then your speed is comparable or even better than the one of the EBR 90. Now on the other hand, you have also no armor whatsoever, and then your camo value is slightly worse than the one on the AMX 1390. Yes, I would say significantly worse than the one on the EBR. However, keep in mind you have 370 meters of view range. The EBR only has 330. However, if you use turbo mode, keep in mind this value is decreased, as I showed you, as well as the view range. Now let me point out one more thing. Obviously you have no armor whatsoever. Yes, sometimes maybe there's a ricochet angle here and there, but other than that you do not have any armor. But one thing I want to mention, so you have quite some gun depression, and if you work on a ridgeline, then yes, your tank does not have any armor. The turret also doesn't have any armor, only 30mm. However, look at how tiny the turret is. So I can imagine that you can play on a ridgeline, and if you move, let's say, from one side to another, so let's say you put your gun a little bit to the side and then move you know, back and forth, then this turret is actually pretty hard to hit. And so working on a ridgeline with this tank is, in my opinion, actually an option that you have. So, Char mle 75 in a nutshell. Well, first of all, you get a super mobile tank which is able to rush into important positions if you use the turbo mode. Notice that it takes 1 second to switch into turbo mode. However, it takes 3 seconds to switch back into normal mode. So this is important for you to notice when playing this tank. Besides this, you get an autoloader tank which can deal 1200 damage within approximately 4 seconds, as your intra-clip reload is only 3.5 seconds. Now this all comes to a price, so the drawback of this autoloader is that you have no control over the second and third shot, as they will be fired automatically in sequence. And due to this feature and the poor gun handling characteristics, this tank is certainly no sniper at all. As you can see, we're trying to snipe the IS-4 and look where the shells go, so certainly absolutely no sniping capability on this tank. Furthermore, if you want or need to kill one-shottable tanks, then you are basically wasting your whole clip, and afterwards you need to reload your clip, which takes 40 seconds. So as you can see, yeah, this tank is now taken out. It was one-shottable. I wanted to get the kill shot and I wasted 3 shots, and now I have to spend the whole 40 seconds in order to reload my clip. So this can be a pain in the... After all, this all leads to the fact that this tank has an extremely high skill cap and it is extremely difficult to play. And so one mistake can mean that this is the end of the game for you. So I am rushing into a position with my turbo mode, and it would take 3 seconds to then enter the normal mode. However, as the camera value is increased in the normal mode, I now decide to switch into normal mode, and this means that my speed is reduced. So if I want to evade out of this aggressive position here, then I need a bit longer, a tiny touch longer, but I'm now spotting the opponents, and now I want to wait. Okay, I need to run because the standard B has already gone into this position. I waited just a second too long, and this means that I am clipped out. Yes, it was an aggressive position. However, this tank requires a thorough thought process, and it is extremely hard to play. On the other hand, if you know what you do, you can make this tank work. But before we start with some gameplay, let me quickly show you how I play this tank. And as you know, I do not use premium consumables or premium equipment because I consider myself as a free-to-play player and I want to make credits with my premium tanks. And so let's first of all take a look at the crew. So I am using the AMX 1390 crew on this tank. My commander already has Brothers in Arms as the 0 perk, and then it is already equipped with concealment with the 2 view range skills, so recon and situational awareness, and is currently working on safe stowage. Now my gunner is currently working on intuition, and Brothers in Arms and concealment is already trained. And then last but not least, the driver already has Brothers in Arms and Concealment, and then is currently working on Smooth Ride. Now I play this tank as a spotting tank, and I highly recommend doing so because I think this kind of relieves you and reduces the pressure that you have while playing this tank, because you can always fall back to the spotting, to the pure spotting role, and it doesn't, you know, funnel you into difficult situations if you kind of feel the need to use the this autoloader gun if this is how you have set up your tank. So I play this tank with coated optics with the CVS, and then I also use the low noise exhaust system, which gives me quite some nice concealment, at least almost 39. And then I use an optical directive in order to get my spotting range above 445, because once again I'm not using premium consumables. And then this tank cannot carry too many shells, and this is a problem, so I highly recommend to not use HE and then instead use the regular ammunition as well as the premium ammunition. And once again, I want to make credits. Furthermore, I think this tank is mobile enough to circle its opponents, and so I rely on 30 standard shells, and then I take 12 premium shells, and this is actually quite a decent setup for me for this tank. Alright, very first game in the Char mle 75, and believe it or not, this has been my first game in this tank. We're spawning on Muruvanka, and as usual, let's first of all take a look at the map. Spawning on Muruvanka from the south, the game usually develops like this, and in my opinion with a light tank you should play in this portion of the map, because not only do you want to spawn the tanks which are initially crossing like this to the 9 and 0 lane, but you also want to maybe eventually spot those tanks right here, and maybe also the tanks which are spotting or which are playing in this position, plus maybe a light tank in this position, and then from there on I think you have multiple options throughout the game. Alright, in this game we are playing against two light tanks, and if you have watched my light tank tutorial on this map, or the map tutorial I should say, then you know that in this case I want to play first of all a bit more defensively and just wait for the enemy to make the mistakes. So I go to this position and then switch back into the normal mode, which takes 3 seconds, and which yeah, was kind of unnecessary because the way into this position is quite short, but that's how it is. And now I want to sit here and just relax and see what's going on, and certainly not play as aggressively as the other Char mle 75 player in our team. Now on the other hand, the enemy Char mle 75 player tries to push out our light tank, so now we can try to help him out. And here you go, get 3 shots. Okay, I don't know if one hit, maybe 1 shot, or maybe there you go, I think 1 shot at least, maybe 2 shots. Nice, and now he's clipped out. Excellent. So what you should try to do if you're playing a light tank is you should first of all try to counter the enemy light tanks and make sure that you are the only light tank on the battlefield, because then your important phase starts, the phase in which you have an advantage over the other tanks. And so this is what I'm doing right here. Now I want to use the last 3 shells in my clip, because after all a full reload takes 40 seconds. And so let's see, okay, the AMX is spotting me, looks like. So I just want to maintain patient and just play defensively. And I think after all the knowledge that we gathered at the beginning of the video, I think we can make some conclusions. So first of all, as in every light tank, you should not waste your tank at the beginning of the game. And this is super important, especially for this tank, because this tank, with this autoloader mechanic, you will certainly tend to rush into a position due to the turbo mode that you have available, and then also you will tend to get out your clip as soon as possible, but don't let this temptation ruin your game. So play defensively at the beginning of the game, and try to make conscious decisions on what you want to do throughout the game. Okay, so I try to get a shot on the AMBT, but as you can see, the gun handling is pretty poor on this tank. Now, yes, I could improve the gun handling with some particular equipment, but that's not what I want to do, because I think this is a short to medium range gun tank, and after all, I think my gameplay in this tank does not rely on long range shots or on sniping shots, absolutely not, and so I think it is not important. And yeah, you see me driving around here with 0 damage after 4 minutes approximately in the game, but that's not a problem at all. Once again, what you want to do is you want to stay calm and then use such situations. That is the situation you want to use. You want to preserve your hit points and then here and there try to make use of your gun. And the best case is that you find a target which is stationary, so that you can use your whole clip, all 3 shots, and manage to basically penetrate all 3 shots, making 600 damage in average. So yeah, let's go back to the driving mode. In my opinion, the driving mode is the mode that you want to use, at least in such a situation. Okay, that was only partially successful, but now I can reload, and due to the fact that my team is advancing over the right hand flank, I now want to push more into the middle and try to spot for my team. And the good thing about this tank is, or the 40-second reload for your full clip is obviously a drawback. However, you can use that to your advantage, that's what I want to say, and try to think about where you can relocate during this 40-second period of time. This is also true for the Char mle 4, and this is why I can recommend those tanks for you, because those tanks will force you to think about the map and about your relocation, or your location in general. And so in my opinion, this can be an advantage if you want to learn how to play those tanks. Okay, so now I am in normal mode, because sooner or later I want to peek out and use my clip and make damage. Here you go, nice, at least 2 shots, 400 damage, nice. Then I have 3 shots remaining, and I think I want to punish the Mäuschen. Okay, so I try to use this clip because I want to reload anyway before I make an aggressive push out, because if you make an aggressive move out, you want to have your full clip available in order to make as much damage as possible, because chances are that if you make an aggressive move, you will get destroyed, and then you want to at least make as much damage as you possibly can. Now, making an aggressive move does not mean that you want to YOLO in and throw away your tank, so you have to think about how you can approach the enemy in order to not give lines of fire to your opponents. And now I want to use, so this is the real strength of this tank, because look what I'm doing. I am now destroying the Mäuschen and getting, what was it, I think 5 shots on this tank. So this is how brutal this tank can be. And now we already made 2500 damage, 1200 assisting damage. And so let's go back to driving mode, and then let's see if we can get another clip. Once again, we do not want to throw away our tank, and we want to wait until our clip is reloaded, and then we want to aggressively push the enemy and use our clip. So I'm switching back to normal mode to give me a better gun handling, or at least a more, there you go, nice. So this is once again how brutal this tank can be. So can we get, nice, okay, yeah. So I think here you could clearly see the drawback of this automatic firing sequence, if you will, but nonetheless we made 3200 damage and 1400 assisting damage, so a very decent result in the first game in the Char mle 75. Okay, second game in the Char mle 75. This time we're spawning on Abbey, and once again, let's take a look at the map. Spawning on Abbey in the north, the game usually develops like this, and with a light tank, in my opinion, you should try to win the middle. Now, you can push aggressively into this position, however, it's a very risky gameplay, so in my opinion, it makes more sense to play a little bit more defensively and maybe go here, go here in order to get some crossfire like this on enemy light or medium tanks which are trying to rush the hill like this. Now we are going to the middle, but here comes one of the problems of this tank. Yes, we can use the turbo mode and go up to 75, 77 kph and rush into a position. The problem, on the other hand, is that our clip takes 40 seconds to reload. So yes, we are successfully rushing into a position, but then we don't have our gun available and we have to wait until our clip is reloaded. And I don't even want to get spotted by the Badger 25T, so this is why I'm falling back. So all this speed advantage actually doesn't bring us any advantage, because we have to wait anyway until our clip has reloaded. So that's kind of a drawback of the tank. But on the other hand, sometimes you tend to headlessly rush into a position, and so this reload time actually prevents you of doing so. So on the one hand, it is clearly a disadvantage, but then on the other hand, it kind of once again forces you to think about what you are doing. And I like those tanks. I like tanks which are forcing you to use your nugget and to think about what you are doing, because those tanks will make you a better player in World of Tanks. If you just purchase an object 279E, you will certainly not become a better player, because you will just always rush onto one flank and then brawl against enemy forces, but then you will not become a better player. Okay, so we won the middle, which is nice, and now I am using the normal mode in order to drive around and then maybe get a cross shot on the VZ55. Maybe if he drives... Oh no, he's on the other side of this ridge line. Yeah, and I think there's no other tank, at least maybe the Conqueror, if he no, there's only the VZ55, but he's on the other side fighting against my teammate. Yeah, okay. So once again, this is not the tank where you should feel the pressure to... here, oh nice, we can clip out the enemy Char mle 75, which is excellent. This is not the tank where you should, force yourself to pump out the clip at the very first minutes of the game. Instead, try to make some smart gameplay and try to just see what opportunity arises and try to fight against the enemy light tanks in the game. Okay, can we get another shot here? Maybe if the Panzer reverses. Yes, hopefully. Yep, nice. Nice, so nice. 594 damage. Excellent. So yeah, what you want to have is you want to have a stationary tank, so that all of your 3 shots, which once again are fired automatically, you cannot stop it, all those 3 shells should hit, and so you want to get stationary targets. Okay, so I saw that our 1 and 2 lane collapsed, and so I want to go into this position. And now here comes the drawback that I was talking about. So I'm currently spotted, so I change into the normal mode because I want to wait 10 seconds anyway until I'm not spotted anymore. And now I want to use my first clip, and this is wonderful because once again the tier 9 heavy tank is stationary. Now I thought about killing the one-shot tank, which is in general a bad idea in this tank, but then as you can see I wasted all my shots and now I have to wait 40 seconds until my clip has reloaded, and I could have dealt 600 damage to the other VZ55 tank which is in this position, but now I have to wait 40 seconds, and so it is very easy to make mistakes in this tank due to the very unique features and characteristics of this tank. So this tank requires quite a high skill cap, but once again, I like those tanks because they make you a better player. Once again, same spiel. Okay, I want to help my teammate to take out this tank, but then I'm wasting 3 shots. So two very unfortunate situations here, and hopefully they will not bite us at the end. So can we get at least 3 shots on the FV? No, looks like he's reversing. Okay, so what can we do? So the enemy Char mle is 75, the second one is over there, and let me see. So I am reloading my clip because I need to move anyway. And now, okay, our teammate is taken out, so now it's a tough situation. So what do we need to do? I think I need to go here to the, what is it, D6 position. Or actually, I want to go on top of the hill once again and maybe get a shot on the other tanks. Now the good thing is that we preserved our hit points so far, and now this is one drawback. If you're switching from the turbo mode to the normal mode, it takes 3 seconds, which is quite a long time. Okay, we need to shoot here, so we only make 2 shots, but I needed to shoot, and yeah, the aim time is also not the best one on this tank. And now I want to wait 10 seconds and until I'm not lit anymore, spotted anymore, unfortunately. Alright, so I think we need to evade out of this position, and yeah, okay, I think I made a mistake because I moved too early. I was still stunned, and I think this was why my view range was not enough, or my camo was not enough, and I got spotted and I received a shot, so I lost 281 HP. Okay, that's just how it is. Okay, yeah, so I think I want to help the SB1 to fight against the Kunze-Panzer. And let's switch back into normal mode. Oh, and he's already spotted there, but nice, our SB1 is able to take him out, which is good. And now let's go into the turbo mode again. Once again, if you enter the turbo mode from the normal mode, this only takes 1 second, which is pretty decent, but the other way around, it takes 3 seconds, which can be a, let's say, a hindrance. Okay, there's the Char mle 75, and I think I want to open up a crossfire situation, so I want to go here, so that the SB1 is able to shoot. Okay, the SB1 is going to the 9 lane, so my position is kind of senseless or useless, I should say, and so I think I want to go with him. But then on the other hand, like if we are encountering the other tanks frontally, that's not what we want on the 9 lane. So I don't know. I think I want to go to the maybe 1 or 2 lane in order to maybe flank the whole enemy team. But then the problem is, okay, the M46 is spotted in the middle. Okay, yeah, so I think I need to rush towards the M46 and try to take him out, because he is down to being one-shotable for me, at least for my whole clip. Certainly, because okay, and there's the Stritzwagen. So yeah, oh no, I made an error. Oh, okay, but yeah, you know what, let's use this stunt in order to switch the modes, and fortunately I did not lose a single HP. Thank you, Wargaming, for those mechanics. Okay, I only made 2 shots, but this is no problem because now I can, yeah, clip him out, because he has a way longer reload than I have. And now once again I need to evade the artillery shells, the incoming. Nice. Okay, only 53 damage, and now I can open up a crossfire situation. Yes, I have to reload my clip, but I am pretty much RT safe in this position. Plus I can open up a crossfire situation, so if the Stritzwagen 103B moves out, then my STB and I can open up a crossfire situation. Okay, there he is. I think he's turning towards the SDB1 so that I can get a shot on his side. Remember, with only 200 millimeters of penetration, I will not be able to frontally penetrate him. Plus, my caliber is obviously not huge enough to overmatch him. Okay, so but now, nice, I track him, and I think I can even get the second oh no, he's turning around. Ah, no. Okay, he gets a shot. No, that was unfortunate. He gets a shot, plus I receive... Okay, the RT only stuns me, but I'm basically now down to being one-shottable, which is very unfortunate. And now it is time to think of how can I outplay the Stritzwagen 103B. How can I... Okay, I think I will go to the middle, but I want to switch modes because chances are that the enemy Char mle 75 will also approach this position, so I want to wait until my clip has reloaded, and then now I can hopefully flank the Stritzwagen. Looks like the Char mle is not proceeding towards the middle, which is good for me, and now I want to move towards the Stritzwagen like this, and yeah, he's moving forward. Now here you can see once again my bad gun handling because the aim time is quite long, but I felt that I needed to take the shot instantaneously. But now I can even track him. I can track him at least, and then now it's time to move towards him. Now you might think, well, I should have escaped in this situation, but yeah, here you go. He's now turning towards me, and this gives my SDB the chance to take him out. And now oh, okay, enemy artillery takes me out, and very unfortunate, but in the end I made 3,700 damage with this tank. So I think if you consciously think about how to play this tank, then this tank can be a beast in every game. And I have to say that I really enjoyed my first games in this tank. So yeah, but what do I think overall about this tank? So in the end, what do I think about the Char mle 75, the brand new tier 9 French premium tank? Well, first of all, I like this tank. I have to admit, because it is a very unique tank, and on top of that I like light tanks, and I like tanks which force me to think about what I am doing. So in my opinion, this is a decent tank. It is balanced, however in my opinion it is a rather strong tank, and in the right hands, in the right situation, it is relatively strong. I wouldn't say that it is overpowered, not at all, because once again the skill cap is relatively high, but in my opinion it is a good tank if you know what you are doing. So I can really recommend this tank, and after all it is a tier 9 premium tank, so you will not only make credits but also make bonds in your games. Alright guys, that was it for today with the first tier 9 premium light tank, the French Char mle 75. How do you like this tank? Do you agree that it is pretty difficult to play? Do you think it is balanced, or do you think it is too strong in one or another situation? Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Consider subscribing to my channel, and I see you next time in another World of Tanks video.